Let's have a look at the new journal I'm putting together. Hello and welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. Yes, if you'd like to come and settle in and just have a little look and spend some time here at the Treasured Page, you are very, very welcome. So today I've got a cup of tea and I am just settling in to start a project, something that I just feel I need to get on with now, and I want to put together a hard-covered journal. So I'm really just switching on the camera and just letting you see some of the process, talk you through a few updates here at the Treasured Page, and you can see what I'm doing. So this is one signature that I'm slowly piecing together. I thought I'd show you how to do that, or how I go about that, and it's really quite useful for anyone new to junk journaling and anyone that's just interested in spending some time maybe crafting along with your own projects and having a little listen. And also I've got something quite interesting to share with you as well. I'm going to share with you some fabric swatches here that I can show you what I intend to be adding to the journal. So that is a nice pink one with some flowers on. Got some book pages off here. I've got my first signature forming. It's all kind of coming together, a lot of creative energy happening here at the Treasured Page. I've got this, which is, if you can see, this is a freespiritfabrics.com eclectic elements. This is a Tim Holtz fabric, so I was quite pleased to get a fat quarter of this, and I would like this to feature on this journal. So it's going to be sort of a little ditzy pink with a little cool, grungy, edgy, that sort of thing. So that was inspiring me. Then I've got the more traditional book pages and things that you can find in some lovely nature books. So I've got these sort of things, and I want to show you that. So these lovely pages have come from this book. This is big thanks to Pat and Katia, who have introduced me to this book. It's really, really quite nice. If you are looking for something like this, it comes with very, very thick watercolour paper almost. It's not normal book paper. So this came to print in 1985, but the print that I've got here is 1997, and the paper in here is absolutely excellent. It's like a thick watercolor paper quality, and it's really nice. There's some lovely text about the different images. This is an English book from the UK depicting English countryside and some very, very old buildings and different aspects and all of our native flowers and everything. So graphite drawings with intricate detail, really interesting. So this is the spire at St Mary's church in Chesterfield in Derbyshire, and I actually spent 4 years living in the Midlands in Derbyshire, so I recognise some of these things. It's just really nice to have a little flip through. We've got Westminster Abbey there in London, and then this is Kew Gardens, so this relates to some of the journaling that I've been doing with my plant hunters and Marion North gallery that is at Kew Garden, where you can see the Japanese pagoda there, and that is just really, really fun. So I loved this, and I think we're all familiar with A.A. Milne and Winnie the Pooh, and that is the Winnie the Pooh Sticks Bridge, and it's just a lovely book. And so there's a few little pages coming with some nice buildings, and I just thought that could come and add into this journal. So this is really where I'm at. This book has inspired me about gardening and things that get a bit overgrown, and some of these wonderful old cottages that we have in England and the cottage gardens, and somehow you see the gardens and sometimes they can be a bit neglected and forlorn. And a big story in the West Country for Cornwall was the lost gardens of Heligan. That was a very, very big discovery of gardens that had been forgotten about, and I really, really loved that, and I was thinking about that as inspiration. So that is my inspiration. It's gardens that have been lost to time. Once they were beautiful, thriving gardeners, and a gardener or a team of gardeners would have looked after them. But then we had different decades and all the things that we would have had maybe in the 40s, and we had things where we had to transform formal gardens became havens for food growth, for sustenance for our troops and things. The First and Second World War obviously saw gardens on the decline, particularly some of these really ornate gardens you would have found in Edwardian times. I've definitely had a lot of inspiration over the last couple of years about gardens, gardening, seed collecting, plant hunting, travelling to other countries, the Edwardian era, the Georgian era, the Victorian era. All of that was heavily surrounded around botany, and I think that that's really interesting. It inspires me, it intrigues me, and it was definitely a language of love for Victorians, and Edwardians used to love going around with their little sketchbooks, notebooks, watercolour paintings, and we see the likes of Edith Holden, and we see all these wonderful botanical images that come through from various artists that have been just fascinated by local flora and fauna of the British Isles and of obviously all over the world. It was a huge fascination, and so this is why I shall be including lots of botanics in this journal. So that is where I'm going with some of these things. And then, very exciting, what I've got to show you is some digital images that I've put together that I will be using for this journal, and I am planning on sharing them with you. So that's coming up in this video, so keep watching and I will show you all of that. But first I just want to show you how this signature is coming together, and also show you this one here, which is a slim journal. And the reason I'm showing you that is because this weekend we have the closing date for my spring swap sign up. If anyone would like to join, you still have time. You can get your name on the list over on the Facebook page if you would like to join a swap. So if you would like to put your name down for one of the swaps, one of the monthly swaps, you can have a look on my past videos and you can see that we've been building a journal over the last year. But if you'd like to have a go at send a signature, where you have to make a signature, then send it off to somebody else and they will be decorating it. You will receive yours and you will be decorating yours. Then send a signature with all its explanation in a video is over on the Facebook page, which is the Treasured Page FB group. So if you would like to be part of one of the swaps and this is something you're familiar with because you've been watching along, then do put your name down today over on the Facebook page. You do need to have a Facebook account because we interact through Facebook Messenger, so you would need to do that. And that is for the spring swap sign up, which is for 3 months. That is a project given in March, a project given in April, and a project given in May. And we send those projects out to a swap partner in your country and you will receive one in return. So it's one project set by me here at the Treasured Page on the 1st of every month, and you make that and you send it to a like-minded friend and they send one back and you have a play and it's all rather lovely. So if you are wanting to do that, do please head over to the Facebook page, put your name down, I will add you into our group and you can find a swap partner. I will help you do that. If not, if you'd like to play along and have a go at the monthly swap, you are going to need to make a signature like this. And this is no different to a big signature, it's just one that's been made shorter. So this is exactly the same, except we've cut off 1.5 inches, and then you will have a 21 centimetre by 11 centimetre slim signature. And if you're not sure how to make a signature or what a signature is a collection of papers that have been folded in half and put together. Very, very straightforward. So you would just take a piece of paper. Now in junk journaling we tend to use pieces of paper that are otherwise not being used for something else. Maybe they've got a mark on it, maybe it's not 100% perfect, maybe it's got a crease or a crinkle, or it fell on the floor, or it got scuffed up, or the edge got chewed up in your printer previously. And if there's anything wrong with it, it's perfect to make a junk journal with. What you can do is you can paint on some watered down coffee or tea. You could just paint it on with a paintbrush, or you could dunk it in a tray of tea solution or coffee solution, you can spray it on with a sprayer. You can just fill your sprayer with tea or watered down coffee, preferably instant coffee. That seems to come out with a better colour, it's stronger. You can spray that all over on one side on a waterproof surface, maybe get a plastic bag down there, leave it an hour, turn it over, spray it again, and you've got yourself a nice stained piece of paper. And if you do that with a whole pack of papers, then you will have something like this. And then when you've got your paper and you're happy with it, you just fold it in half and then you just flatten it out like that, no problem. And that is something that will form part of your signature in your journal. So you can then just add this to the rest of the piles of paper, and this is something that will be sewn into the journal later on and become one of the pages. So there we go. So that's how that's done. And then what you do is you add some interesting things. So I've added some book page there. I've added a different textured paper. I've added a doily. This one's got some textured coffee stained paper, and I've laid some lace over it and allowed it to dry, and I've created an impression. So these are fun things to play around with your coffee or your tea on paper. There's a little bag, which is a glassine bag, and that can become a pocket. Then there's more tea stained paper, and there's some vintage ephemera, which is sheet music. I've got some flips, so if you're not sure how to do the flip, you just make it shorter like that, and then bring that round like that. So we've now got a short page. We bring that round, and then we just turn it in. So to create this flip out look here, I am just going to turn in part of it. On this one, this flip is just this piece of paper here, this Z shape, and it's bound in there. And this is the same. So this time we're putting that in there, folding it over. We've now got a short piece and a contrast of colour. That's interesting because you can decorate that, or you can create a pocket. You can stick it down there, and there's your little tuck or your pocket. And then that's like that, and that's all in there. That's fine. So when we bring it over, we can now bring this in, and you can then work out where you want the flip. Do you want to have it like that, or do you want it deeper? And you just sort of work out where you want it. So all I'm going to do is just bring it over, roughly push it down so I've got a guide of where I want that, and then I'm just going to bring it in ever so slightly, in a little bit more to allow for cutting. And we'll just straighten that up, get the bone folder, put in a permanent crease like that, and then that is quite interesting. We then put the page back in. Okay, so now when we look at it, we've got our shorter page, contrast of colour, quite interesting. It's not decorated, and when it is, that would look even more interesting. We can use that as our guide, and then what we would probably do is put something else on there, or we can collage onto it, so it just gives an area of interest, something. So when we flip over, we've now got it looking like this, and we've got this like that. If you wanted it deeper, then you could bring it in, but then you would have a contrast here. Just another interesting look. It's fun to play around with and fold the paper. When we've got these folded pages, they give us opportunities to tip things in, to add things in, and this is an idea here. So we could use something like this, and this can be glued in onto that page, or it could go underneath, or we could fold that round and that be added, and then that creates something else and it all ties in. And that's the sort of thing that I'm going to do. I'll probably cut that down so that it fits, and then that will come and live there, and I shall decorate top and bottom with something like a label or a bit more collage or some trim, all of these things. So these folds are quite fun to add in. They present a little challenge, a little fun way of how you might decorate it. It just brings interest to your signatures. So that is something that you can create. You could just have a play with folding paper and just seeing all the different interesting things that come at you when you start playing. And then you can even have a look at this idea, bring this one up, open out that, and even tuck that in, and then this way we've created something else. You can add something on there where it opens up, and then this is decorated, and then you open that up, and then you've got more journaling and more journaling, and all of it is bound in here, but it creates interest within your journal. So these are just fun things, guys, just fun, and we don't have to have it. That can tuck under there, make more sense. But why does a book have to be standard? Build in some folds, build in some flaps, build in some interesting things to find within a journal, and just have a play with the paper. It's really, really good fun. So that's what I've got there. For my journal that I'm building, I'm going to be having 4 signatures, and I'm going to be having quite a wide spine. So this is a 2-inch spine, 5 centimetres, and I've punched holes enough for 4 signatures, and that will eventually become the spine. So that's how the start of it is done. This overhang can be trimmed down, and if we want something a little bit more straight and neat, then yes, that's what we'll do. Usually for a soft cover journal, we don't tend to bother with that. We can just have it all loose and quite bohemian, and we don't need to worry about it. But sometimes it's quite nice to have the straight edge, and I think that's what I'm going to achieve here. So with this one, I think I need to be a bit careful of that fold, because that would have to be something that is trimmed off. So that was just my demonstration one. I'm going to remove it, and then what I could do is even have it on the front, because we tend to find the middle pages get pushed out more than the outer edge, and then that would actually miss being cut, because that would be the one I would avoid. And I can keep the fold towards the back, which is interesting, so I can have a pocket there in the future. What I'm aiming for my signatures is about 8 or 9 pages each signature, because the more we add in, the bulkier they get, and they start to do that, they fan out. So it is best to start with less. Less is more when it comes to binding, and more is more when it comes to decoration. So with this one, I've bound it together with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That's a very straightforward stitch where you just pierce 3 holes in the centre of your pages. And for a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, just as a practice, you can use a needle. If it's not very thick, you can make a hole with a needle like that in the centre, and then you can come in just a little bit, maybe the width of your thumb, and that will give you your first hole on the edge, and then the final hole will be here. So you've got 2 on the edge, 1 in the middle, and the 3-hole pamphlet stitch is this. You put your needle through, leave a tail, go up and through your hole here, like that, all the way over the top of the first hole and out the very final one there. And just pull that through, and then you come back through the centre, minding your first thread. And when you come back up, you make sure you go the other side of that big long central stitch. So you've got your ends are either side of it, and then you release your needle and tighten everything up and just put in a knot to secure it. And that is one way of doing it, and then that's all you do. You do another knot, you can tie a bow, but that is your 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Very, very simply done. So now we've had a look at different sized journals. We've got the slim journal that could be used in a travelling notebook style sleeve, something that you can have as an insert. You can have a sturdier cover, you can have something that's fabric, you can wrap that around with something like a file folder and then decorate that. You would be able to sew into that as well and create something that you could take with you on a little weekend away and be able to use that. What you could also do is you could take it all apart when you have finished. You could unpick all of this and you could separate the pages and you could rebind it with larger pages so that you create shorter pages and larger pages within itself. So that could all be muddled up and create one super signature that you then bind into a journal cover using the stitching that we've just shown you, or the 5-hole pamphlet stitch onto some cardstock, and then we have the sturdier sides to it, and you make a proper book. Or you could stitch it into an existing book and take the pages out. You could get an old style book here, and you could remove the pages by taking a craft knife and just cutting the block out so that the text block is cut out completely. Then you've got a nice sturdy cover in which you could sew in your signatures. You could make signatures out of much larger paper. Just buy bigger paper and fold it in half, and then you can create another journal of a different size. That was a hard cover, but if you prefer a soft cover and you like to use fabric and lace and have the whole thing squishy and mouldable and movable, then you might be interested in a soft cover journal. And this is a perfect example of the shorter pages being used inside this journal. It adds interest, a place to decorate, a place to showcase your lace and things that you may have collected, little cuttings and snippets and things that you've made. And this is just a really fun way of adding all your vintage finds or things where you've gone, perhaps you've been somewhere and you've collected cards and somebody sent you something, and you create pockets and tucks within the pages. And this is just a really nice way of keeping old things that mean something to you, and also somewhere to store new things which mean something to you but are not necessary to the aesthetic that you're trying to convey. And then you could be putting them inside something else to hide them. So that's just some of the ideas that you can have. You can make your own artwork and then tuck it in. You can collect something from a shop that you found interesting and you can tuck it in. And if you've got postcards or you've been to some lovely gift shop and you're tucking all these things in and you're keeping them in a designated space. Perhaps you've got maps where you've been and you want to include that. And this is just one of my journals. This is how I work. This was a study of botany and just a wonderful experience of being able to craft along with others, making interesting things, and then figuring out how I wanted to store them within this journal. So making something like that I can use with removable pieces such as a bookmark, and then creating fun little flips and things, places where I might be able to write in the future, and then pockets and tucks and keeping the tickets and just showing little things that you could do. So if you're interested in anything like this, you can have a look at the playlist for the French Linen Botanical Journal and you'll be able to find how I made this just out of one sheet of photocopy paper, actually, and then adding in the little ephemera pieces and stickers. Just such fun, just really good fun. So this is the joy of journaling, and we do it for a number of reasons. We do it to escape, we do it for expression and freedom, we do it because we maybe don't want to write in a journal all the time. We want to experience a bit of nostalgia, we want to discover things, we may like history, we may want to look things up. You may like the idea of making the book from scratch and using your own creation for your own journaling, or you may prefer the idea of buying a book that somebody else has made and then be able to decorate that accordingly without the hassle of having to make it. Lots of different ways. Anyway, these are the starts of signatures for future journals such as the one I've just shown you, and the one that I'm trying to make now is going to be for sale, so keep watching, because if it turns out okay, it's going to be for sale, and I might be able to make several journals. That's the theme. Look, I'm even creating some spines here by measuring out my grids and like that, making these templates, and then being able to put my pen through the holes, mark it and punch them out. So I've got 3 possibles there, 4 potential journals, 5 if I include that. Yeah, so I'm gearing up to make a few because I really enjoy the process. So now I'm showing you this because what I want to do for this journal, I would like to incorporate botanics and flowers and all the things that I love and all the things that I want to convey within this journal. And this is going to be a journal about a lost garden, and this is the digital images that are going to complement the journal. So this is the kit that I have created for this journal. It's called The Lost Garden, and this is one of the pages that I think is really quite sweet. But I thought it fitted really nicely with a lost garden, maybe a garden that has overgrown and it needs to be brought back to life and discovered the secrets and things within. You can just imagine moving away the bracken and discovering all those interesting things that would have been there back in the day, and to wonder what they were for and why they were there. And so I've got some nice pages that can come and be part of the journal like that. That could be a start of a signature. I've got some really nice background pages. I'll just show you. We've got this one, which is beautiful. We've got this one, which brings in the nice sprigs, the greenery there, some lovely flowers. And then a red-toned one here with the roses and some music sheet in the back there. Some script writing and some dark coffee stain. Lovely warm caramel colours being used here. And then this is a nice idea, using this rust tone with some overgrown trees and the script and the sky and just that dreaming of what this garden could look like if we just all work together and put it together. Monet style clouds that just give you that inspiration as the spring is starting and we can think about things growing. More clouds here. Maybe we're looking through an old vintage greenhouse and considering the possibilities. And then we've got some background papers here with some coffee stain, some paint splats, and the same here, just a darker and a lighter one. So these are nice ones to, if you want to double print, you can have that on the background and give you one side a coffee stain paler colour, and then on the other side you can have one of the more picturesque things. But these are all the backgrounds, so they're all backgrounds, and this lovely green leafy one as well. And then this pretty one with a nice pink flower in the centre, so when that's folded you will see the music notes on one side and a peeping through of the pink flower, and then that on the other side, and plenty of space to decorate and write as well. And then we have got a nice lot of ephemera with this kit. And then we've got 5 sheets of ephemera. So there's some lovely tiled cards here, journaling cards, pockets, tucks or toppers. They could be used in multiple ways, and lots of lovely images there, especially with that lovely rusted clock. I really like that one. We've got some old garden implements there, and then some just nice little shaped pieces that can become tucks or little bands that go on envelopes, all sorts of things. A little maybe like washi tape that could be used there. So that was the sheet 1. And then we've got these, which are belly bands or side tucks. Again, they could be used in multiple ways. You could take little snippets of it and use it. You can add labels, you can add more stamping, you can add little swatches of lace and little trims and things that you might want to bring in. You can fold them in half, lots of different things. They're just really, really nice images, and I thought that they would be fun. Then we've got another little journaling card, little tuck point, a fussy cut there, little washi tape bits there, and then some little triangle pieces for some corner tucks or an upper tuck. I had the idea that on a page here we could have one triangular corner down there and one triangle corner at the top, and then a journaling card or a tag could be put in the centre of those 2 triangular pieces on one page. So we're going to have a look at that, and then that's that one. Then over here we've got a nice jumbo tag in an interesting shape. 3 gorgeous cards with a butterfly there, nice flowers, some interesting design. Perhaps that's an old mosaic that they found. Lovely clock in a rounded corner tuck there. Again, that would look really sweet coming in. These can all be backed onto card, printed on card, or they could be sewn onto some other junk journal paper or some packaging paper to give it more of a sturdy feel to the back. Fussy cut butterflies, they can come and live up in the sky on any of these nice spaces here, and I just thought that that was really fun. And then here we've got another jumbo tag and some smaller parcel tags here. I thought they were great. So that's really nice. I've also printed this out onto photo paper so you can see that there is a different quality depending on what paper that you use. So photo quality paper, you will get a bigger pop of colour, but this is just standard print. This is just a regular print, nothing special. This is the sort of thing that you will achieve, and I think that that is just really, really good. There's a nice definition of colour, of texture, of tone, and it would just enhance any of the coffee stained papers because it's just got a really lovely warmth to it, which I thought was really nice for spring, for summer journals, bringing them into the autumn and the fall. I thought this just worked across nearly all the seasons, so I thought that this one was a really lovely colour. And then this final one gives you lots of labels, nice labels to decorate envelopes and tucks and pages. They can each become a little pocket in their own right, or they can come and embellish little booklets, tear sheets, and the lovely little journaling card there, and a little side tuck with a slanted edge top. And then you can tuck one of these nice tickets or tags. And yeah, lots of things to play with there. I thought that that was quite versatile. Plenty of ephemera to play with, so that is all available on my coffee shop. So if you head over to my coffee shop with the link below, you can help yourself to the bundle of ephemera and or the bundle of background papers. So they're both available, and there will also be a freebie available as well. So these are for sale at a very reasonable price for you over on my coffee shop page. You can have a little look at that if you would like to have a go and use the Lost Garden kit to make something fun. You can obviously include that into your own journal. You do not have to make a full journal with it, but the option is there. And also there's going to be freebies as well. So this whole bundle, which is going to be 17 pages worth, is completely free to my coffee shop members. So if you are following along on my coffee shop and you are one of my signed up monthly members, you will receive this kit completely free. If you're new to the coffee shop, then you can buy this for a very small donation to the cause here at Running the Treasured Page. And I also have some freebies for anyone available over on the Ko-fi page, which will give you some ephemera pieces to have a play around and some slightly different images to what you're seeing in the kit. So you can get all of that, and that will be available to everybody. Images can be printed out onto other things, other substrates such as cardstock, or this is printable canvas. That's worked out really nicely. This is printed out onto coffee stained or tea stained paper, which I ran through the printer just to give it a deeper depth. You can go for more grunge papers if you want to get a deeper tone. So that's given a different style as well. And it's quite nice to vary the pages throughout your journal, gives it a lot of interest and brings in more warmth. This one has also been printed on a tea-stained paper and again gives a really darker depth, nice rich colours, lovely warm tones, and I just think that that's really nice for a nice earthy, warming, cosy journal. And then this is vellum as well, so that's just come off the printer a little bit rolled up, but it does need to be flattened out. So print these images out onto vellum and create some interesting pockets. There's lots that you can do here to give a different look. So that's all possible as well. So have a play around with different papers that you might have in your stack. The papers here will complement other people's kits as well, and they'll complement any junk journal style. If you were going for a more grungy look or you want some more romantic pages, a nice varied style here within this bundle of background papers that you'll be able to use in any journal, and they're just really, really nice. There's a nice little collection there, nice things that you can back onto other digital kits that you might have as well. So I just thought that they were fun, they were nice botanical images, nice pleasing colours, and they are just lovely rich caramel, warm peachy colour tones, or lovely biscuit chocolate delicious colours, and I thought they would just be great. So that's all available for you. So the links are below if you are interested in all of that, and of course a freebie as well. So I just wanted to show you what I've got on my craft table, what I'm intending to do, to invite you along to the swap. So get your name in this weekend. Particularly if you're in Canada or South Africa, we have definitely got some spaces there. And if you're watching from Canada and you think, oh, I'd like to get involved in a swap, please get in touch. Put your name down over on the Facebook page and do have a little look and see if you'd like to sign up. And that would be for 3 months, for March, April and May. Okay, and we're going to make some fun things and just see if you can find some like-minded people in your country. So I hope that's been of interest and inspirational for you. If you'd like to get your hands on that and have some crafting fun with the week ahead, then that is all available for you from today. And it all works in perfect conjunction with nature, book pages, sheet music, old ephemera, anything with a script or a text, typewriter print, anything like that you can bring into your crafts and make some really lovely tags using some of this ephemera here. And the background sheets work lovely. You'll be able to cut them up, make some really nice tags or background pockets, tucks, all the things that you like. And then you can use the labels as embellishment. They'd look nice if they were embossed with a clear emboss to give them a shine. You could go wild with your creative supplies that you may have, and that will hopefully enhance some of the things that we find as junk and scrap, decorating, packaging and things that we don't want but they've got something nice about them. All of a sudden you start adding a label here and there and you've created something really fun. So have a little go, see what you've got, what's lying around, what are you putting out to recycle, and see if you can create something with the fun things that I'm suggesting here. So thank you very much. I shall be putting this together and bringing you along for the ride. I'll be back on the 1st of March with a new project, and we'll be talking about making our signatures and making coin pockets. So that's coming up. I will be putting more signatures together and the journal, and you'll be able to see then how I'm going to be decorating the inside of the journal as well. So I hope that that was fun, just a little bit of a catch up. Those of you that have sent some wonderful messages about Maggie, my new chief assistant, she has been asleep. She has been sleeping in a cardboard box on top of some greeting cards this morning. So thank you all for watching, and I will be back very soon with my next video. And above everything else, guys, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.